Hello everybody, welcome to this training session presented by LearnFront. My name is Sean Payne and I will be your instructor. This session is part of a collection of training discussing Amazon Web Services and the various resources and service offerings within their cloud infrastructure. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. In this lesson, we're going to discuss Amazon Web Services security best practices as it relates to virtual private cloud, or also known as VPC. Amazon Web Services offers a multitude of controls, features, and infrastructure to ensure your environment is fully protected and secured. Before we go into some of the VPC security details, I want to quickly recap and highlight what is virtual private cloud, or VPC. So VPC is the network backbone interconnect that provides the route, switch, and firewalling to control traffic flow to and from your AWS resources. So let's talk about things you might want to consider and incorporate into your cloud infrastructure to secure your VPC. So first thing, Amazon recommends creating and using security zoning and network segmentation. You can achieve this by creating custom VPCs, subnets, route tables, security groups, and even access control lists. The general idea is to create threat protection layers and to enforce all traffic to flow through that external zone. So for example, you can create a custom VPC to support public or external interfacing resources, a DMZ, and even private internal layers. So generally what you're going to want to do is, for example, place your web services or your front end into a public-facing zone and or DMZ, and then have your back office or database related components of your application stack inside a private zone. So that kind of helps build a security context as traffic is flowing through your VPC and ultimately into your EC2 or other related AWS resources. VPC offers the use of security groups to protect instance level resources. So Amazon recommends logically grouping all of your resources into various security groups. It's advised to only open necessary ports to further reduce risk and exposure, and additionally, you might want to monitor usage of these security groups and remove any unused security groups to further secure your network. You can additionally use access control lists to provide an additional layer of augmented security protection. Keep in mind, access control lists, also known as ACLs, are a stateless protection layer. So basically both egress and ingress traffic flow needs to be accounted for. Security groups, on the other hand, are statefully inspected, so any established sessions will be managed and maintained. It's generally advised to avoid wide open access when possible. So for example, if you're needing to open up ports for SSH or RDP or remote desktop remote control access, you know, maybe specifically to your EC2 resources, you generally want to limit that connectivity to either one or a range of IP addresses. So don't have world accessible access, at least for sensitive resources and access controls like SSH or RDP. If possible, try to avoid running common services, as we just talked about, SSH, RDP, maybe your back office MySQL or SQL Server databases, or any other sensitive network access and application services on their default or standard ports. So you might want to consider with SSH, rather than using the default port 22, you can use some other abstracted, customly created port to access things on. Choice is yours, but that would offer another layer of protection and security. If you need access to your cloud resources, For remote control capabilities, you might want to consider deploying a bastion host. This is also known as a jump box. And the idea is to channel all connection through one host rather than allowing direct access to all of your resources individually. So when your business use cases require connecting your on-premise data center environment to your AWS cloud infrastructure, then you might want to consider provisioning a VPN gateway to terminate an IPsec VPN, or potentially you might order AWS Direct Connect service, which would provide a secure, dedicated connection directly into your Amazon Cloud account resources. So that kind of gives you a general overview of some of the considerations for security and how to protect your cloud environment using VPC. Okay, well that wraps up this lesson discussing Amazon Web Services, security best practices as it relates to Virtual Private Cloud or VPC. I wanted to share with you a few resource links that you might find useful as you continue your study on this particular topic. Thanks for watching and happy cloud computing.